No comeback this time for the Sens as Auston Matthews strikes again and the Leafs bounce back from Monday's defeat. Matthews now has 17 goals in 19 games against Ottawa, while the Leafs have a comfortable 6-point cushion in that Scotia North division. For more on the Leafs and Sens, here's Dave McCarthy from Toronto.
Well, the Toronto Maple Leafs facing the Ottawa Senators for the second of 3 consecutive head-to-head games for Toronto. It was all about the response in this one after a devastating loss on Monday to the Ottawa Senators. Devastating might be a heavy word to use, but when you're leading 5-1 with 9 seconds left in the second period, you end up losing the game 6-5 in overtime to the division's worst team. It can be a tough one to get over. Credit to the Senators. They started out well again on Wednesday, out shooting the Maple Leafs 10-5 in the first period. Frederik Andersen had to come up big with a number of key saves to keep the game scoreless. Toronto would get on the board first, courtesy of Auston Matthews when he one-timed home a Justin Hall pass. Brady Tkachuk tied it late in the second, but Alexander Kerfoot would give the Maple Leafs the lead midway through the third period. Ultimately, it came down to Auston Matthews for Toronto on this night. He extended his league-high point streak this season to 11 games. He has 12 goals in that span. Points in each of his 14 past consecutive appearances. He missed one game, which halted the streak. After the game, Joe Thornton said, look, right now Matthews is playing not only at a Hart Trophy level, but a Selke Trophy level as well. He should be in consideration for both those trophies, according to Joe Thornton. And on this night, Matthews, as he has done so many times this season for Toronto, coming through yet again in a big win.
Yes, thank you. And after allowing 6 goals in the back of the net on Monday, Freddie Andersen earned himself a bit of redemption on Wednesday night. The veteran netminder was nearly perfect, stopping 27 of 28 shots in Toronto's rematch against the Senators. And you had to feel for the guy after Monday's loss, right? So for him to be able to turn it around so quickly feels good for him.
Didn't we see this coming? Didn't we all see this coming? I mean, after really an embarrassing loss where they had was it a 5-1 lead going into?
Yes, there were 9 seconds left in the second.
Late in the second period.
Oh.
I mean, and what was lauded in the Toronto market as the worst loss in 100 years of Maple Leaf hockey. Relax, folks. It's early. You got to know this group is going to bounce back, and you've got to know that Freddie Andersen is going to bounce back. There's better hockey in this group than all that, and the Ottawa Senators aren't going to catch you off guard. Shame on you the first time, shame on me the second time if I let it happen again. So we saw a much better performance from the goaltender on out, where the guys in the blue shirts were concerned. I thought they had this one pretty much in check from start to finish, just a lot more poised, a lot more controlled. The attention to detail there, and there was a whole lot of dynamic in this one, too, a la Auston Matthews and company.
Yeah, let's continue along those lines because Auston Matthews now has 14 goals in 16 games played this season. This man is on a torrid mission. How do you explain what he's been able to do so far?
Weeksy and I were talking about this on the last show, and I'll tell you, he goes through a rather rigorous and even unorthodox training program. Last summer, he drops 15 pounds. He is doing more with less effort. He looks more agile out there. He looks more fluid out there. And he certainly looks more confident out there. I think there's maybe 10, maybe 15% more to Auston Matthews' game this year. And I didn't see that. I'm leaning in the first 2, 3, or 4 games this year, Jamie. I'm interested in seeing how does this unorthodox offseason kind of transfer into what he does this year. I didn't see it in the first 2 or 3 games. Now, 14, 15, 16 games into it, I really think we're starting to see the fruits of the investment he made last summer. Auston Matthews has added to his game, if you can imagine that. Based on what we've seen him do in the past, I made this point earlier. We used to argue, is Marner driving the bus where the Leafs are concerned? Is it Matthews? Right. I think he settled that score. At least this block of games so far this year, it's all Auston Matthews.
Yeah, he's answered a lot of questions, and right now I believe he's on a 48-goal pace over 55 games, because remember, he missed the one. So wouldn't that be something?
Lower body
keep this pace up.